two ways the balancing and merging take place in the physical is early on, you have this intense desire to be with them as the feminine. You latch onto them. You can't wait to see them again. You are thinking about them nonstop. And you make plans, check on them, whatever. Can't wait to hear from them. Just round the clock, right? That's not the healthy energy that you end up staying in, but early on, that is very much how you will be behaving and experiencing the connection. And when you do come together in the physical, it can feel almost like, oh, wait, why was I so obsessed? Like, it just feels normal, regulated, you're okay. But then the second they leave, you spiral again, and when am I going to see them? You know, you text them immediately after 2 seconds you said goodbye, okay? Because this is showing you what your wholeness feels like. To be with your counterpart is neutral and normal, and not that spiraling, not attachment. It's actually just a very centered state. And you might have that. I'm not talking about the bubble love phase when everything is harmonious and lovely and you're forming that third energy. I'm talking about later when you are in that obsessive mode and the fear has been activated in both, and you are starting to come in and out and be triggered. And when you come in, you're like, oh, wait. Almost like you had pedestalized them in the moments where you were separate in the physical. And then you're seeing actually, oh, okay, this is my center. And that is for you to absolutely now consciously work with, because you need to balance that other part of you that then feels separate when you're not actually with them. And as you do that work, as you start to go in deep, perhaps the separations become longer. Maybe you go into a full separation. You come into a state of your own inner wholeness, right? That's the work you start to do when the masculine puts up that wall, when you go into those deep separations and the feminine really comes into her own. She is now working with her own wholeness and fullness that she always was, but was experiencing that illusion of separation in the 3D, and now has to reclaim it for herself, restructure it from within to break down that illusion, raise in consciousness where it doesn't exist anyway, and that is where you can now hold that inner union frequency. But when you are starting to balance the masculine back in, when you start to see them showing up, you might be triggered in the physical. And now this is the exact opposite of what was happening in the beginning. Whereas before, you weren't fine without them, or at least you didn't feel like you were, and you really wanted to see them again. Now you found that you're totally fine without them. You're good. You're thriving. And you feel very connected, and you are becoming that pure channel. You are in that surrendered state. You are trusting, and you don't feel like you necessarily need them. And when they start coming in, suddenly now you're triggered again. And again, this is just a different way of the balancing taking place. Because the more that that energy comes in and the more you are able to ground and center, you're just releasing what needs to come up. It's still in there. somewhere energetically, and all it wants is to be released. It's still a part of the purification process. So if they're coming in, or when you meet and you feel like you're getting triggered or you're spiraling, first of all, it's okay. Second of all, take them in smaller doses. You don't have to suddenly launch into a relationship, and in fact, that's really not going to work. That's why you're spiraling, because you need to be able to alchemize this little by little. And if you're being triggered by them energetically, if they're coming in, or in the physical when you meet, it's more information for you. It's more ways that you go deeper rather than react from it. But it's also showing you that you need to take it more slowly, set more boundaries, and they will respect that. When you set the boundary, they have to. And you take it at your own pace so you can stay grounded and centered and do that work to transmute any lower dense frequencies that are still needing to be dislodged from your energetic system in order to hold that higher frequency of union. So wherever you are at on this, know that both sides are showing you that experience of wholeness, whether you're on your own and you're feeling good, or you feel good when you're with them but then get triggered when you're not. You're learning that you are whole and complete, and that it is the separation that is what is meant to be let go of. And the way that happens is by letting that old energy come up through those oscillations. So it is a perfect system. You are moving through it. The mind can't do this work. Don't get wrapped up in the story of it. Detach from that story as much as possible and bring it back to you each and every time. If you need more help, my website is there. I have just launched a new membership where I am showing up every Tuesday to answer your questions, and you can join me live or send your questions, watch it later. You can just benefit from other people's questions in this beautiful community of divine feminines. I am very happy to offer this and to help you further on your journey. And I am sending you so much love. All my information is on the website for that membership.